A world is not static. It is a sequence of interconnected moments. Every moment is but a snapshot in time, a fleeting instant resulting from a myriad of previous events and their unavoidable consequences. We know that subconsciously because we experience time as a continuous flow. But what about a world that is stuck in a single moment? That can easily result in a world that feels empty and dead. So, how do we show the flow of time in a block world where nothing ever changes and where even movement is almost non existent? One way is to show history. Damaged buildings, contrasting architectural styles, old ruins, or monumental remains of civilizations long gone. That is what I want to add to my work today. An ancient monument, imposing and yet mysterious, its functioning unknown, its purpose long forgotten. So today I'm here out on the hills behind the city, where we have a small path that leads to a beautiful meadow, and you can, yeah, just barely see the cathedral and some of the buildings from the city. But as you can see, we also have this monstrosity, which was meant to be a cover up for a tree farm, for another tree farm, but I tried to improvise it and the results show it. It is an eco monster, an absolute monstrosity, which I want to tear down. And I have a very nice design that I've prepared in Creative to replace this and make the view from the city absolutely stunning and work on that idea of building a big monument just on the horizon. Usually in a standard video of Minecraft Let's Plays, this would be the part where I start showing you that I go somewhere, I gather materials one by one. But honestly, I find that looking at those material gatherings is generally quite boring, so I don't want to torture you through that. So while I'll start tearing this thing down and rebuild it, you can just sit back, listen to the nice music, and enjoy the time lapse. Let's walk up to the monument. We have a long road ahead, so we can enjoy the views from afar. I'm absolutely ecstatic about how it came out. I hope you like it. It's massive. You can see it from all over the map, basically. Here I also built another small structure that is meant to represent like old ruins, like an old gatehouse or gate, small castle that you enter when you approach the city. But we're not focused on this here now. If we take this road up, it already says ancient monument. Maybe I'll have to come up with some kind of name, or you can suggest a name in the comments. Here is the path leading up to like the hills behind the city. Basically, there's some of these wart fields. There's a small house that was meant to be sort of a small witch hut or something like that. And we walk up this way. There are also these, I don't know, like mud pits that emit all sorts of fumes and smokes from decomposition. I'm not entirely sure. I think they look great in this area, and I'll have to expand on them. But the main attraction, we're getting closer. As you see, it takes a while to get there, but you can still see it with enough render distance from very far away. And there's this smaller part here, this smaller obelisk maybe, and the whole section, or this whole like road leading up to it, basically sort of connecting the two. So here it continues more or less, but it's more overgrown, and the vegetation has grown over it, the grass, especially the moss. Maybe I have to still add some more foliage. But here you can walk up and basically maybe give your thanks to an old warrior, to an old general or something. Or who knows what the purpose of this building was. It's lost in history, basically, or lost to history. But you can see I've added a lot of moss parts, like this old monument is overgrown with it. There's these whitish areas that are meant to represent bird poop. Yes, that's also something that happens to monuments. And you can also see the birds flying off, and in some other areas there might be more with black and dark gray candles. There's not yet an entrance, but as you've seen, there is a a tree farm inside, so I'll have to add an entrance at some point, like a redstone mechanism. I mean, if you can reach it like somehow like this, and I can access my goodies, basically. Yeah, here is the back side. I've put a lot more moss on this side. Maybe we can see it from a bit further on. Because this is meant to be the north side, and so usually, at least in the northern hemisphere, the moss grows usually on the northern sides of trees, of buildings, because it's more moist, more cold than the southern sun-exposed side. I have to add a small redstone door here. Get out, pig. But on this side you can see it better. Basically this glass fog effect, white, that then leads into the beacon beam. I think that's a nice touch. It gives it a bit of mystery, of aura. You can't really tell where it ends unless you're really focusing in. So I think it's a nice effect, and it serves the purpose of hiding all the redstone and all the tree farm part that would otherwise be seen from outside. And I've also added glass onto the building part itself, like to give it a bit more of a shape that I wanted. Like it was really hard to give it this curvature, this slope, because obviously if you go full block, it's gonna be a lot more apparent that you have these steps. But here I try to really push the idea of a smooth line almost, although obviously it's Minecraft, so it can never be completely smooth. Basically, each section is wall, then full block, then wall. And in these parts, I also added section with glass. Another thing that I think is worth mentioning as the sun is setting is that this thing at night is absolutely spectacular. I realized we could have a nice effect with all this section where we have the wall, and so there's a small slit between the wall part and the full block part, which can have light pass through. So I included lights all over. Maybe it's a bit too much, but the idea is that this old monument is being lit, is being still maintained to some degree. As you can see in many cities, usually the main attractions, the main monuments are lit to show them off at night, and they look incredible. So I think we managed to pull this off here quite nicely. It's very imposing, and the same to some degree is true here. So you can really see it even from afar if we try to move out. It really pops. But that's it with the showcase. I'll leave you to a few final shots and then close the video here. Thank you for watching.